Thursday night, you know what that means?
Will you look back when you're old and grey and think those dumb kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember? I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away.
The Sticker family have already beat me to it, so welcome.
It's Thursday night, you know what that means. I've not said that in ages. I made that catchphrase and I hardly ever get to say it anymore. But without further ado, first off, what have we got first?
Go on, what have we got first?
Oh, okay, you should just know. Joke of the week.
What did the pepperoni say to the cheese? Slice to meet you.
So what do you think? That was Holly from Ben and
That was a
Holly's
good
Theme
one.
Park Adventures. That'll be in the
That was a good one.
description. But without any further ado, we're going to space because it is. What day is it today?
May the Fourth.
Did you want to introduce our guest
Our
from Straight to
wonderful
Video?
guest. Yeah, Rob.
Is that it? just Rob.
How's it going?
All right, yeah.
That was the intro. Was it epic enough?
Sorry. It's like, Rob.
Good, yeah. Right. So, Chris should be here later on. So
Chris is
I'm
on his
not
way.
sure how the store started, but should we start? Do you want to tell me a bit about your childhood and how you started getting your love of films?
My love of what? Sorry,
Films.
my love of film.
Movies.
Oh wow. Well, I was born in 1974, so by the time I hit 7 or 8, 9, 10, it was like peak 80s. So you had to have a love of films. But for as far back as I can remember, it was always about Star Wars, which is appropriate for today. I don't even know if I saw the first film at the cinema. I mean, it came out in, when was it? December 77 in the UK. We got it like really late.
Something like
So
that,
yeah.
most people didn't see it till 78. So even then, I would have barely been 4 years old. But I don't even know if I went to the cinema. I know my uncles went to see it because they always used to rib me about it. But I had the storybook, so I think I just must have read that over and over. So it was like lodged in my brain. So I probably didn't see Star Wars for years later, but I always remember it. So from then on, there's no looking back. Once you hit Star Wars first, then anything goes in the 80s. Ghostbusters, Gremlins, Back to the Future, right through. So I just love film.
Indiana
like
Jones?
this. Indiana Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
I always say I've never seen Blade Runner, which people find shocking. Look at that, exactly. There you go.
Have you seen Total Recall?
Yeah, I've seen Total Recall.
Okay, that's right.
I haven't
That's
seen
kind
Blade
of
Runner.
a bit the same.
Yeah, but the reason I always say the reason is I could always accept Harrison Ford as Han Solo and Indiana Jones, but that's it. That's the cutoff point. Is nobody else. So Blade
Do you
Runner
think-
always looked too serious for
Do you think
me.
there's any truth in the fan theory that Indiana Jones is what he's dreaming about when he's in the carbonite? Is it carbonite?
I've not heard that, but I'm on board.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was called carbonite or not. But when he gets stuck in the thing, people were saying
Yeah.
Indiana Jones is what he's imagining when he's stuck in there.
What, in some kind of parallel universe?
Yeah. While we're on Indiana
So-
Jones, quickly, which is your favourite of the original three?
Temple of Doom. Me and
Yes.
Chris both agree on that.
Everyone always
These are the
disagrees
best
with me on that, but I'm guessing you'll disagree if I say unpopular opinion. I think Back to the Future 3 was the best.
Yeah, number one every day.
Really? I thought you were going to say number 2.
It's got to be number one.
Chris has got a soft spot. I like number 2. It's a good one. I think it's one of those things where you could pretty much act Back to the Future 1 because you've seen it so many times. It's a perfect film. So Back to the Future 2 is always a good one to go into because there's always fresh elements to it. And
Yeah.
I can always remember being so excited about what they was going to show the future to be like. I've said this, we said this in one of our YouTube videos. the excitement building up for that film. It's like, what's the future going to be like? It outshone anything that Marvel does these days. It was just fantastic. But the weird thing is, you always associate Back to the Future 2 as being the one in the future, but there's only probably about the first 15, 20 minutes in the future. Then it goes back to 1985 and 1955. It's
I said they got some stuff right though, because we've got video calls now.
See, I went from Back to the Future to then Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure because of the whole time traveling thing. And it just went back to and then it went to Doctor Who. So it's like the whole time travel thing kind of flowed with me on that one.
I'm assuming that's Andy from Coasting with the Joneses, but he says Back to the Future 1. I think the third one's the best one, but no one ever agrees with me on that. But
Back to the Future 2 has got one of the best endings of any film.
It's got more than one ending.
Well, exactly, yeah. It just keeps going. And every part of it is perfect. It's brilliant. So good. What other time travel films do you like?
On the spot now. Well, my favourite video game of all time is Ocarina of Time, and there's time travel in that. So that
I thought definitely mine is Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted is the one because then I got into the cartoon, and then obviously I then found out Doctor Who as well. But have
you seen The Time Machine? Well, both versions of The Time Machine. The original H.G. Wells Time Machine.
I know. Was it time travel in the Navigator?
Yes, Flight of the Navigator. Yeah. That one. It's
Navigator.
It's not necessarily. I'm trying to think best way of describing that.
What, to people that haven't seen it?
Yeah, it is time travel in a way.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah,
it's driverless cars. That's the only thing I can think of in a modern day age.
Yeah, you need to check out The Time Machine. Go back to the 1960s H.G. Wells, which is fantastic, and then they did a remake with Guy Pearce from Neighbours, which is brilliant as well.
Oh, cool.
So,
but I wasn't sure. I put the link for our vlog when we came to your video store in the description. I put a link for your channel and also the latest episode of What's in the Egg, Rob. Did you want to explain to people what that show is?
Chris has a tendency of buying things for this shop. And it said, well, one of the first things we brought was a Han Solo in carbonite. That blew the initial budget on the shop. But then he'd seen an alien egg, which was effectively a rubbish bin. And he got very excited.
I thought it was meant to be a cooler.
No, it's a storage bin. And he said, "Can we have it?" I said, "How much is it?" I think it was like £150 for a bin. And I turned up one day, and there it was, sat in the corner of the shop.
Oh, you didn't actually clear it. You didn't give him the okay. You just got it anyway.
He got it. But much respect, we've turned it into the iconic YouTube show, What's in the Egg, Rob, where each week we pull out a random VHS tape and we talk about the film. And it's grown. We're on episode 9 now. We're going to do 10 episodes for season 1. Sound all professional like an American.
Are we allowed to know what's going to finish season 1? Is it going to be a definitive film to finish the first season?
Yeah, we're going out big, but not literally big, but we're going out in style. So we've got to end because we're about halfway through the series. We started dressing up as characters from each of the films.
I was going to say.
That started. We've got to go out in style on the last one. So episode 9 dropped today. So
for anyone who's not seen episode 9, I've got a link in the description, but I've also linked the specific scene that you talk about during it, which is my favorite scene. I'm not going to talk about it too much because there's swearing in it. But if anyone wants to see that scene after the show, I'll put a link for that scene from the film down below as well. From Planes, Trains and Automobiles.
Is that the one we speak about today, which got the film at R rating?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was also the bit he said to the guy when he got out, although there wasn't any swearing in that, was there? When he got out of the airport.
No, I don't think there's any swearing at that point, no.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah,
Coasting with the Joneses is put. There is an Indiana Jones carbonite in the Wallace and Gromit ride at Blackpool from the old mine ride.
Was there one in the old mine? I don't know. That's a fact.
That's a random fact.
Oh, talking about fact. Let's segue for a little while here.
Hi.
He's here. I've got to change. How you doing, Chris?
I'm all right, mate. Thank you. How are you?
By magic.
Good. Good, isn't it? Very
I
professional.
thought you do like the sound
Is that
like what's
my
in the egg sort of thing, like as you get into it.
I can pop up out there. I don't fit in that bin. I'm not a contortionist, and I'm too big to fit in the bin.
So what I'll do, I had this thing, and it started last week because we had Coaster Dad on, and no, I'll save the jokes for later. Actually, I'll do the headline thing now.
Oh, okay.
I've got 3 headlines. They're all Star Wars related because it's May the 4th, and you're just going to pick the one that sounds most intriguing, and I'll tell you the fact behind it.
Okay.
You've got
You have to read it in my eyes.
Ewok and Roll or Yoda Man.
I like Ewok and Roll. But...
Yeah, Yoda Man's, but Ewok and Roll wins it for me.
Yeah.
It's
Good
more,
choice.
Yeah. Go on then.
Kenny Baker, who originally played R2-D2, was meant to play Wicket the Ewok, with Warwick Davis cast as an extra, but when Baker fell ill with food poisoning, Warwick was given the role.
Yeah.
Correct,
Did
yeah.
you either of you know that?
Sorry?
Oh, you already knows. So I was waiting for Chris to arrive. Did you want to tell us about how the store, how it started, how the genesis of the idea, and
Okay.
You could take this one.
Have you not talked about that yet?
No, they're waiting for you.
we're waiting for you, Chris?
Oh, your viewing figures are going to skyrocket or plummet with one of them. It depends on mood. That's not better.
Yeah, how can we get you in?
You don't want it off my face.
Just move the camera. That's it.
There you go. Okay, so the story goes that I was going to America last year to do a Golden Glove store downstairs. I was going to sign a deal in America, and I had no one to go with, so I invited Rob. And Rob was so
Did I want a free holiday to Florida? I said yes, please.
So Rob was so gracious to be my travel companion, which he probably regrets to this day. It
was a crossroads in my life.
Yeah, it was pretty horrendous getting there to miss the flight.
That was the moment where the butterfly effect happened, and it was either this was going to happen or this was going to happen.
Yeah, it was one of the. It was bizarre. We missed the flight, so we had to sleep on the floor of Miami Airport, did we not? And we only had 4 days anyway. So we got there, did the thing, and then we went to, was it Universal Studios?
Whichever one had the Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, the Harry Potter Universal Studios. And it was about 1,000 degrees, and my brain was melted. And I had nothing really. Upstairs, the shop was just the escape room. And the main shop floor upstairs was the malls. So I did all the malls out. I thought it was pretty decent, but
we've got an American Werewolf in London escape room. That was
the original plan. So it was like 2 rooms for that, and the whole video shop now was the malls. So
lots of Christmas trees.
Yes, Christmas trees and carrier bags from B&Q or whatever it was. So it was all right when it was dark and misted up and stuff. And we just kept. Whose idea was it?
We were in the queue for whatever that Harry Potter ride is. Was it
the
Hagrid's?
motorbike one?
Yeah.
Hagrid's, yeah.
That's brilliant. It was a great ride.
And as it's Disney or Universal or whatever, you're queuing for like 2 hours. So we're talking about random stuff. And
that doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
We had someone on the show who went, and they were in the hotel, so they got to go before it opened to the public. And they said by the time they got there, it was 3 hours.
Oh no, we never queued for anything.
No, we didn't bother doing it. We had enough time really. We did everything we wanted to. That new sort of sliding off on the Jurassic Park one.
The Velocicoaster.
Wow.
Oh, Velocicoaster.
Yeah, but there's no sort of like, it's the weirdest thing ever. Basically, just a bar across your lap, and it's pretty. I'm sure someone's gonna come out of it. It was proper pride. Anyway, so we're in the queue. It was. Brain was frying, and then we just came. I don't know who came up with the idea.
Yeah, Chris was talking about the escape room, and he says he was thinking of taking a left turn on it and creating some kind. I want to use the word retro. We don't like to use the word retro because it's overused. But
vintage.
That was the initial thing.
Yeah,
like 80s vintage kind of themed room, and
that being too obvious, I suppose. That's why I didn't want to use the word retro because it was like. It says, I think it's overused. It's not terrible. I don't like it, let's be honest. That's not beat about the bush. It's just that everything's retro and it's like it's too in your face and too obvious. So I thought just a video shop would do.
Yeah, I've been to a few of these like pop-up video shops. There's one in Liverpool which is really good, and there's one in California called Slashback Video, which is essentially what we've done. It's a video shop museum. So you can't rent the tapes, you don't buy the tapes, but you just create that experience of going back in time, really.
Yeah, it's a nostalgia buzz, isn't it, really? You still get the odd person who wants to rent them, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, I do. When you're not here, I get all the,
It looks like I've got a beard.
Is it?
Yeah, Gandalf.
It's like
Yeah.
I tend to go on like the word of nostalgia quite a lot. I always say nostalgia rather
Yeah,
than
it's better
retro
than
or vintage, because it's like
yeah, it's just a bit everywhere. And kind of. It was one of my sort of stipulations. We didn't want to go down that route, and but thinking of a different word than retro is really difficult. And it's not a horrendous word. It's that I think everyone was using it, and we kind of got dropped a little bit lucky with not lucky, but the Stranger Things thing.
Yeah, Stranger Things has been good to bring younger people,
the younger
in.
ones, but predominantly it's for people our age, isn't it? And people who are into the sort of history of videotapes and what it was like to go back and pick a videotape, and it's always a nice experience, isn't it? Even when you're here, it's still like that's pretty cool. I mean, stuff here I haven't seen yet.
I felt like I was young again when I went through and we saw all the rooms and everything from last time we visited.
Yeah, because
I want to come back again. I want to do the escape room, but I just thought I'd let you know. I was like, I'm going. We want to go back.
I don't think it's here. I've got a donation for the shop that I think I've told Rob about.
Oh, nice. We like people.
Is it one of them massive checks?
No, it was from I don't know if anyone remembers. It was a BT advert about 20-25 years ago.
Oh, I'll go get it.
You can go and get it.
Yeah, I'll go get it.
I'll
go get it.
Did you want to talk while she's going a second? Did you want to talk briefly about because you do events and you've got a viewing room in the back where you can actually with a lot of seating and things.
Yeah, we've got a screening room. That was one of the things you originally had. It's based on Chris has got 3 favorite films: Jaws, American Werewolf in London, and The Shining. So we've obviously got American Werewolf Escape Room, and the screening room is based on the Overlook Hotel,
which is pretty much there already, wasn't it? Yeah. Neil was the one that was coming up with the ideas for that, and then we sort of went and expanded on it. And
are you going to try and incorporate Jaws?
That's what I say. How do you incorporate Jaws? I don't know.
Well, we are gonna. You not let me talk about it, but I go off on one and
Chris gets very excited about new ideas.
Rob holds the reins. If it's left to me, I would have a different shop every week. But yeah, we're going to change things.
Look at
that. We'll bring this next time we come. It was on an old BT advert. It's a phone.
I remember,
it's not plugged in at the moment, but basically there's a demo button when it is plugged in. That'll get up and sing, and that'll do the harmonica.
And it changes the colour.
And it changes colour on his belly as well.
Where'd you get that from?
I think it was my dad's. He got it when that BT advert came out. My mum got it when they went to Cyprus one year from duty free in the airport because she had to get it delivered. But then when I moved out, they moved house and they were going to throw it away. So at the time I kept it, but then we used it here when we moved in. And it used to ring when no one was ringing the phone. So I was like, oh, it's a bit haunted. Maybe we should use a normal phone.
Oh, yeah, pass it on to her. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'll show you this, but I'm not donating it.
Oh, she's not donating this, but she wants to show you.
It's my She-Ra clock that I said that
I had. Is that original or is that a recent?
But then I've still got the tab there because apparently it is double-sided, so you can change the back of it, and I've never changed it. So there is another fake clock face to it where you get all the characters on it as well.
Oh, wow.
So, I've never done it. So that is my She-Ra clock.
So what I'm not going to make you narrow it down to one, Rob, because Chris has told us his 3 favourite films. Have you got 2 or 3 favourites?
Yeah, but I'm straying away from the blueprint because my 3 favourite films are from the 90s and the 2000s.
Oh.
I know. Well, it always used to be Star Wars, the first one, Ghostbusters, Gremlins, and stuff like that. But Back to the Future, I could act those films pretty much. So my go-to films now, I've got 2, potentially 3, and they're all music films. So Backbeat, which is about Stuart Sutcliffe, the 5th Beatle. That's one of my favourite films. Starring Stephen Dorff, came out in, is it 94?
94, that.
Yeah, 93, 94 or something. Yeah. So I love that film. I love Almost Famous, the Cameron Crowe film. And one of my recent favourite films, which I love watching now, is a film called Wheeler, another Stephen Dorff film, which is only a few years old. But They're my 3 go-tos at the moment.
He's got so many secrets from me, hasn't he?
I got lots
I
of
never knew
secrets.
any of that. I never knew
I thought it'd be Back to the Future 2 for some reason. I thought you seemed like you'd really like that. Then I thought you'd like Breakfast Club. I thought, because that's a classic. And
Oh, I love it, yeah. Well, I think if I had to pick my favourite John Hughes film, I always go Weird Science.
Oh,
I'll
yes.
probably go Ferris Bueller.
I actually have Weird Science on DVD still, so yes.
Have you,
Most quotable film of all time, I think.
I feel really bad now asking this because I've seen most of the recent ones. Have you done Ferris Bueller's Day Off in What's in the Egg, Rob?
No, we've not done that.
That could be in
there. You've got to do that at some point because I want to hear you talk about the scene where the car falls out the garage. That's the best scene.
That
Yeah, we are going to do something different after What's in the Egg, Rob, so it's going to be slightly different, but a similar sort of theme, is it not?
Yeah, it's going to be a movie review show, but all different. Keep
Right,
things
so-
fresh.
Cool.
While we're here, did you want to pick another headline?
Oh,
Does it matter which
Yeah,
one?
What was
so the two we've
second one?
got is Monkey Business This Is, or Yoda Man.
Yoda Man, that was Yoda Man.
Yoda Man. Let's see if we can find this. English puppeteer Frank Oz, who voiced Yoda, also voiced Miss Piggy and the Cookie Monster, amongst others.
Mm-hmm.
You got some American Wealthy London folks on Frank Oz, I bet, haven't you?
Isn't it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. It was in Blues Brothers and Trading Places, that John Landis go-to guy, Frank Oz is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bit of a legend. Frank
Yeah.
Oz still alive?
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, Frank Oz, yeah.
I thought he was. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
He
no,
must
he's
be.
still alive. Yeah, he's done the voice for Yoda for forever, I think.
Yeah.
It's like the Anthony Daniels C-3PO thing. I think he's done the voice for that for every film.
I think, did he go through a phase where he had a problem with his voice or something for a bit, and then he kind of went away for a bit and then came back? I can't remember.
I imagine he put a bit of a strain on it doing that, but a bit like with James Earl Jones doing Darth Vader when they did the special edition, it sounded horrendous. So well, he got his voice back a little bit. He lost his deep voice. So but if I know Frank Oz, he's still knocking about. The thing is with Frank Oz is that he looked a lot old. Everyone in the 70s and 80s looked about 70 anyway. So he looked a lot older than what he actually was.
Oh, with the corduroy trousers.
He was about 28 when he did Empire, which is like what? Fraggle.
I'm a Jim Henson's fan, so yeah.
What was their name?
I was going to say I had something fun lined up with.
The Fraggle.
No, it's to do with Star Wars. But I'm wondering, are you using a phone for this?
Yeah.
I don't know if the videos will show up on a. Did the joke of the week show up earlier, Rob?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
Could you hear it?
You
All right?
kicked me out of the waiting room, ain't you? So.
I think it muted, didn't it? And then it came back.
Yeah, because I've got some other content creators to send in. Well, I found the jokes, gave them to them, but they've read out some Star Wars jokes, and you were going to pick which one you think is the best. I can play one, and then you can tell me if you can hear it.
Yeah.
Why do none of Luke Skywalker's marriages last? He always takes Obi-Wan's advice. Use divorce, Luke. Chewie?
Go on, next one.
That worked. It was all right.
Yeah, that worked, yeah.
Hear it?
Again, they did Chewbacca growl.
Could you hear the joke all right?
Yeah. How many have you got?
Got 3.
Go on, then.
Fire on. We'll pick the best.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder why Star Wars 4, 5, and 6 came before Star Wars 1, 2, and 3? It's because in charge of directing Yoda was.
Shame that didn't work.
That one didn't work.
No, it didn't work.
Ah.
Do you want to read it out?
Because Yoda was
Try
in
that.
charge of
Read it out.
It was why did Yoda? Why did Star Wars 4, 5, and 6 come out before 1, 2, and 3? Because in charge of directing Yoda was.
In charge of directing Yoda was.
Oh, yeah, very good. Yeah, go on.
You did the Yoda brain as well. Oh, well, the last one's subtitled, so it should be right.
Okay, let's go for it.
What's the internal temperature of a tauntaun? Lukewarm.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Do you know what? in order, my order.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Bit of Ted Rogers for you there. 3 was the best. 2 was the second best. The 1 was not so good. But all right, but the chewy raw.
Yeah.
Oh, so the second one was actually mid, even though you couldn't hear it. It was still good.
No, because you read it out, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You did a good job of it. I liked it.
I'll have to send you the clip after this week. He nails it.
Yeah.
What about Rob? Does Rob agree?
Yeah, I'll go for that one. 2 was a tricky one.
Do you think?
Yeah, it comes in.
Yeah.
Takes a
later.
second.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it simmers on the boil for a bit.
It's a clever one.
Yeah.
I don't mind a clever joke, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think let's take the second one.
Goes to Dad's watching, bless him. He says, "I'll take second."
Oh, listen. Sorry. We'll air it properly.
Oh, they're watching.
It's all for good fun. That's all it is.
So,
yeah.
Did you want to talk Star Wars memories?
Ooh, how long have you got?
Yeah, extend the show by like.
How long have we got?
We've got a mutual Star Wars memory.
But yes, we have. Yeah, it's not a very good one.
Yes, well,
it's quite rubbish, really.
When Phantom Menace came out, which was
1999.
99.
Yeah.
I mean, the hype was real for that film. Everyone was so excited when the trailer dropped. That was in the day, like really slow internet connections, so you had to wait for it to.
I watched it on Good Morning Television.
I think I recorded it on GM. Good Morning Britain.
What was her name? I think it was Lorraine Kelly.
Yeah.
Who was presenting it. I was like, oh.
Just the excitement for that. Even to this day, as much as I think Phantom Menace is disappointing, that trailer was amazing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. The warning signs.
Yeah.
The warning signs were
there. But me and him bought into it all massively. And there was an event in Manchester. I don't know where it was at. Was it like the arena?
It was the arena. Yeah, it was an official one with official event.
Like Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, but like before, so why anyone bothered going to them thing? It was by Kellogg's. It was done by Kellogg's and well, it must be Lucasfilm.
Yeah. It's called The Power of the Myth.
Yeah.
So was that the day when we met Ray Park in the morning?
Yes.
Yeah. So we had a double Star Wars day. Ray Park, who played Darth Maul, was doing a signing at Another World, or Forbidden Planet, in Derby.
Yeah.
And we went to get his autograph, and we were disgusted that he was charging £15 for an autograph, which is cheap these days. But we were disgusted by that. And then we road tripped to Manchester for Power of the Myth, and it was the most disappointing piece of crap.
All they had. I mean, to be fair, they had the.
Well, we went into a cinema room first, and we saw the trailer again.
Yeah. And Pod Racer, that was it.
Yeah, they had a full-scale pod racer,
which is pretty cool. But that was it, wasn't it?
And that was it. We travelled all the way to Manchester for that, and we got a goodie bag which had a Kellogg's bowl in it. Not even a Star Wars bowl. It was just a Kellogg's bowl.
I remember what it was. It was a Frosties Kellogg.
I was going to ask, was it like the bowls that you had where you collected so many tokens and you get that free bowl?
Was it that plastic one there? Which, if you, you can hear the sound.
Yeah, I know which one. It's a blue plastic one. Oh my god, I remember them.
Someone sent in another joke in the live chat. How does Darth Vader like his toast?
Let's go.
On the dark side.
Toast. Oh, I thought you said post. I like to do the letterbox. I don't know.
Did you ever play any of the Star Wars games?
Sorry, again?
You ever play any of the Star Wars games? Someone's talking about Star Wars Racer on the other before.
Games. I've played. I've got a good story with Star Wars. The arcade machines, the old one where you sat in.
That's the only one I've ever played.
In the arcades. I mean, I don't know how old you guys are because just little blobs on the screen. But this machine was like the go-to one in the arcades. It was, and it wasn't great, was it? But you had the proper sit down the thing. And I had my very first kiss in one of those. Yeah.
Quite romantic.
Yeah, an Atari Star Wars, and it was like a game that I never finished.
Wait, now where was it? Was it in an arcade, a leisure centre?
Mate, I went proper. It was in an arcade.
Yeah.
How cool is that? It was the best thing ever. And weirdly enough, I was there last weekend. It was a Butlins and Skate.
Reminiscing.
I just tried. Well, obviously that machine ain't there anymore. I was 15.
Yeah.
So, and because that was a weekend, we went to see Die Hard 2. I broke my elbow. I went to see Die Hard 2. Yeah,
How did that
1991.
happen?
Break my elbow. Oh, I was playing football and someone tackled two. They were playing against two Sheffield Wednesday lads, and I said, "Oh, you're going down this season." Just messing about, and they just hammered me, and I landed on the floor and broke my elbow.
Oh, crikey.
Nothing exciting. That's all
I thought it was going to be like Die Hard related, like you're doing stunts like John McClane. Or something.
Yeah, I went to an airport, right, and there's this dude there. He's doing karate naked. So sorted him out. Star Wars games, right? I've played loads of them. And the one that I did like, they're getting a little bit of kudos at them. I'm getting a good retro-y look back, I know that word. But, because it got hammered when it came out was Revenge of the Sith on the PS2. You could finish it in 2.5 hours, which I love. Games that go on forever and ever, I just haven't got the patience for them. But I finished that in one sitting, and I was like, yeah, this is actually all right. The mechanics were decent. Because there's so many poor games. I mean, the Empire Strikes Back for the Atari was awful. I remember I've got an older brother, and we had a Spectrum, and I didn't have any money. It was his birthday, and there was Attack of the Death Star on cassette for the Spectrum, and I was like, I was paddying up, and I said, like, please get it. So he bought it, and that's horrendous. Have you ever seen that game? Basically, just like the Falcon, and you have to fire dots at the Death Star. It's really bad.
How long does that take to load up?
Oh, about 3 years.
Still loading
that. Yeah. That's why I don't like it. Yeah, bought it on his 9th birthday. I think I was 13. We got it running. I've got a long time. But as far as the new games go, I got the Jedi Fallen Order, which I enjoyed to a point, but again, it got too long and I got lost on a planet and it was doing my head in. But that new one looks in the dog's taters. And
Are you a fan of the Lego games? Or?
Yeah, I like them. The first Lego game came out. I think it was Phantom Menace, actually. That was the first Star Wars Lego game to come out. Just fact check it, but I'm pretty sure it was on a PS2 with a purple back disc.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, and that was brilliant because I thought I'm not massively into Lego, but like the game again, the mechanics of the game and everything worked really well. And then it's like anything, you just like saturate it and it gets a little bit tired. So yeah, I've played most of them, but they just seem to be much the muchness, to be honest. I can't really think of another Star Wars game that I've played that I've been. Battlefront, I actually thought got a hard ride, and that's a really good game. But I think because the crate issues, when they buy people paying to win and all that stuff, that killed that game. But I thought the graphics and the actual gameplay is pretty decent. Also, I was really looking forward to Squadron. I got a VR set, and yeah, it was okay. But sitting in the TIE fighter is wicked. That's about the best thing about that game.
We've got a coasting with the Joneses that says still got his Spectrum toast rack, awesome machine.
One more game that I loved. I finished it. Super Empire Strikes Back on the SNES. That was amazing. But that was 80 quid when it came out in 1993. So some serious cash. They were hard games. They are. Any of those Super Star Wars, Super Empire and Return, and Indiana Jones is solid. But they're really good games.
You guys been to Galaxy's Edge yet? Doing your theme park stuff?
No.
No, not yet.
Is it on the list?
It'll be on the list, yeah.
I want it to be.
It'll be on the list. Like Europa Park. I want to go back to Europa Park.
I've never been abroad yet, so
We'll sort it.
it'll be quite a revelation for me. I'll be like,
do not do connecting flights. Just fly straight. Pay the extra few quid.
I don't know. I don't know. I fancy sleep on the floor.
Right, it's not as exotic as it sounds. It's horrendous. But it's worth getting. I've done it. We did it in what? You can't do it in 4 days, but you can, can't you? If you know exactly what you're going for.
Galaxy's Edge was good though.
Yeah, if you just want to do Galaxy's Edge, then you can do it in. There's that new thing there now, isn't there, where you pay. Is it like $10,000? You stay in a hotel and there's a theme storyline throughout your stay, and you're on this spaceship. It looks insane. But I think it's about 10. Have a look on YouTube. It's on there. The whole story's on there. So it's like
that sort of stuff.
That's really good.
Did you want to
before I forget about Star Wars? Sorry, I went to years ago to Secret Cinema in London, and they did Empire Strikes Back, and I was like, I don't know what's going to happen here. I thought they're just going to screen Empire, and that was it. It was amazing. You had a full-size X-wing flew over your head, and like they've done Tatooine, and they did Jabba's the Mos Eisley Cantina. They had actors walking around. It was so good. So I did it again the week after. It's that good, but I don't think they're going to do them anymore because the next one they're doing is Greece. So, but yeah, if anyone's seen or went to Secret Cinema Empire Strikes Back, they'll know how good it was. It was amazing. I told you to go, but you wouldn't listen to me. I told you to come tonight. I asked you if you want to come. Yeah.
If they do another one, let us know, but not the Greece one.
What if they do Breakfast Club? Yeah.
They've done Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Lost Boys,
I missed all them.
Yeah,
so they did Back to the Future, Lost Boys, Ghostbusters before I knew about it. So I jumped on it with Empire. And after that, they started doing like they did with 28 Days Later, which was pretty good. And then they did Bond, which was okay. I can't remember which other one I've been to. Oh, Blade Runner. But
we don't talk about Blade Runner, do we, Rob?
Okay, the sets are amazing, so they worth going to. But I think they've got a bit more commercial. But Greece is just, I'm not. It's just an easy.
I think they've done. Have they done Dirty Dancing?
About 60 times. Yeah.
Mm.
If you have a look online when you finish with obviously that Galaxy's Edge Hotel and Secret Cinema Empire Strikes Back, you're blown away. It was amazing.
See, I'd love that. Can you imagine if they did like Ghostbusters though? They'd have like I can't
flashing
remember the name
lights.
of them though, but like Slimer would be like overhead of you or something, and then they'd get like the guns out, and
projection
get, like,
mapping.
projection come out of it, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, just nerding out in the seats.
Did you want to do a quiz?
Go on then, we'll test out the brain. I'm rubbish.
I'll try the generic quiz, and if you feel all right with that, we'll move on to the Star Wars one. But I think you'll ace this. This will be movie quotes, and I just want what movie it's from, and if you want to try it as well, what year the movie came out.
And people in the comments can join.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Jaws.
What year?
1970.
75.
Is that what you're going for? Have you got it next to you?
Yeah,
On have you got it next to you on the?
First time.
Sorry.
I don't know if you got the VHS tape next to you. Just look on the back of it.
We have got Jaws.
No, we haven't. No. You want the truth? You got it is A Few Good Men, and that is Jack Nicholson, and that year is 1993. That's a guess.
92.
Oh, I'd give him that.
Half a point.
Ferris Bueller. 1986.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you got good eyes, mate.
I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
That's the national treasure, is it not?
Don't know that one.
There you go.
Yeah. What year?
2000.
What year?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
20 years ago. I was at the cinema.
What would you say is Nicolas Cage's best?
It's longer than you think. 20 years ago. So 2003.
2003.
Yeah, that's a guess.
I'll give you that.
Oh!
That's so good though. Like I wouldn't get that in a million years.
While we're on the subject of Nicolas Cage for a second, what do you think his best / funniest role was?
Oh, that one's quite good. You know, that recent one. The Unbearable.
Wally's Wonderland.
No.
Yeah, I watched that the other day, actually, a few weeks ago, and I went in with zero expectations because I'd seen nothing but bad reviews for it, and I thought it was all right.
It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite Nicolas Cage acting, but it's quite good. It's quite up there. I always think Face Off is good because it's Nicolas Cage acting like John Travolta, acting like Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Raising Arizona is good. That was the one that kind of.
I think he gets a little bit. I reckon he's going to become a caricature.
Well, that's not reason.
I feel the need to be.
Top Gun, 1980. It's either 85 or 86.
85, 86.
I thought 85.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Close
okay,
enough.
86.
I've talked about that. You're not ready for that yet, but your kids.
Yes, you guys aren't ready for that yet, but your kids are going to love it.
Back to the Future.
1985.
Yeah.
Dirty Harry, 1970.
I don't know this one.
Before 4, I'm going to go for.
Oh, 21.
That's right, decade.
What's that?
Why were each one of
Why
us
were
is
we-
carrying an unlicensed?
Ghostbusters 1984.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is so cool. Oh,
Oh.
interesting.
Interesting reaction, but what does it mean?
Don't know.
I'll know that it's going to come to me. Then.
Interesting.
I always
Yeah.
laugh. It's like
What
one of my
does it
favourite scenes from that
mean?
film.
Give me a clue. Give us a clue, sorry.
It's 90s animated.
No.
I don't really want.
Is it like Toy Story or something?
Yeah.
A little bit before that.
Stop motion, isn't it?
Stop motion, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stop
Stop
motion.
motion.
Sort
Go
Can
on,
I
you have to
mention
go
the
for it.
Can I mention the director?
You can mention director. I think they'll get it if you mention director.
Okay. Tim Burton.
Oh, Tim Burton. Oh, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep.
Yay.
I don't know.
I don't know if it was.
What year was
Christmas
it?
Bauble is
93.
like
17.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it
before
was
Toy
well
Story.
before Toy
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah, it's the scene where he crushes the bauble into dust and it goes into this liquid and lights up.
I've only
And
ever
he's just
seen
like,
that like one time. My wife loves it, but I've only ever
I've never
seen
seen
it.
What does it mean?
your condescension, as always, is much appreciated, Arthur.
Arthur.
Arthur. Dudley Moore.
That's basically no. It's oh crap.
Another
Arthur
clue
and the
again.
Mini Boys, isn't it, silly?
Probably should, yeah.
The Invincibles.
Is it? It's not Joker, is it?
No, that's a good. It's a Chris Nolan film. It's got
is it
Tom Hardy in it.
Is it Memento?
No, it's got Tom Hardy in it and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Anyone know in the comments? It's-
Oh,
Your condescension is always as much appreciated, Arthur.
Not Shutter Island, is it? That's what I'm
no,
thinking.
no.
What was that?
I've no idea.
Shutter Island.
Yeah.
It was the other film that came out around that time.
Oh, in
Oh, the big
Dreams.
one.
Dreams.
Yeah.
Think Dreams.
Inception, is it?
yeah.
Not seen that.
2010.
2010.
Am I going Incept something or other?
I have got
Incept.
another quiz, but
Incept.
it's a photo quiz, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to see them.
Let's have a look.
Well, that
I've
works
just-
fine.
I've just zoomed in on Star Wars characters. I just got to tell me what the Star Wars characters are.
Okay. Oh, I like this. Can do
Right.
it.
It works. Admiral Akbar.
Yeah.
You interviewed him, haven't you?
Yeah. Queen
Padme,
Amidala.
Yeah, Padme.
Yeah.
Everyone can know.
Jesus.
Jesus. Rob.
That's what I kept calling him when I first started watching the film.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
R2D2.
Yeah.
Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Purple lightsaber.
Darth Maul.
Rob's like,
Emperor Palpatine. Who
Ooh.
you? R4. R4. Hit the buzz,
What's
Joy.
the
Sensor.
second
R4D4. I'm guessing.
do you want to take a guess, Rob?
Oh.
I have no idea.
Is it R2?
E17.
Oh my god.
R4.
We're going deep.
I got R4 right there.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. What's your opinion on Jar Jar Binks?
They got all comfortable, and then you chuck at R4P17.
You won't forget it now. What do you think about Jar Jar Binks? He got a lot of hatred.
There's a lot of things worse in the Phantom Menace than Jar Jar Binks. I can tell you that.
Yeah, there is. It's just been they've just recast him at the end. Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Ahmed Best. But I felt a bit sorry for him.
Yeah. There's a lot more things worse about that
undue
film than Jar Jar
flack.
Binks.
Yeah, that's the whole.
Still a few people that actually hate Jar Jar Binks, isn't there? And
Well, apparently
Well,
it's his fault. It's his fault that some order got taken.
he led them, yeah.
He gave some speech in episode 2 or 3, didn't he? And that led to some order being taken. So it's his fault the Jedi got taken down, to be fair.
Kind of. They definitely reduced his role, didn't they, in Attack of the Clones, which actually they trumped Phantom Menace in poor filmmaking. I think the Attack of the Clones is worse than Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I think Attack of the Clones is the worst one of all of them, I think.
visually it's fine. There's some really cool set pieces, but the actual story and the acting is, I mean, like Star Wars, you don't watch for the acting, do you, anyway? But it's abysmal. I mean, the whole love story is like how.
I don't know if you'd agree, but I remember watching the third one at the cinema and thinking, was it Christopher Lee's character get away at the end of the second one just to die at the start of the third one?
Yeah, they do that quite a lot of the films where they have like a whole film based on this baddie that they can't kill, and in the beginning of the film they just go, well, there you go. Bit like Batman, Dark Knight Rises with the Scarecrow character. They just went, oh, just caught him. But the whole film is you're trying to get this bad guy.
They could have done so much more with that.
Yeah, I suppose with the Christopher Lee thing is that Anakin's powers have doubled, as he said. But that scene gets on my nerves a little bit because he could have killed Obi-Wan quite easily and then just leaves him on the floor with a thing on his hip. So I think they could have done that. But it wasn't horrendous. But they had to move the story on, didn't they? Because it's like they had to go further forward than just that. Because you obviously had General Grievous in there as well, coughing his way through a bit.
Terrible character.
Yeah. Well, that's my favourite one out of the three. It's definitely the best one of the three.
So I kind of messaged Rob before the show because I thought rather than spring on you, if we'll talk about some of your favourite and least favourite twists in films. So anyone watching at the moment, if you hear a film title, it's going to get spoiled. But I thought the two that came to mind for me was, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. I thought, even though it's well known, The Empire Strikes Back, when Darth Vader was revealed to be his dad, I thought that was still quite good.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I was trying to think when she watches it. Go on.
The other one, I don't know if you're going to go, yeah, it was cool, or yeah, it wasn't. Friday the 13th, Part 5.
What,
do you remember that film?
Yeah, that it wasn't Jason in that one.
Yeah, it wasn't Jason. It was just a normal person the whole time.
I mean, it's pretty obvious because the mask's different. It's like a copycat killer.
For anyone who's not seen it, the whole reason we have a spate of murders is because some kid some kid offers someone a chocolate bar, and the other older kid just turns around and kills him.
It's not a different mask.
And then the kid's dad is Jason, but that's how it all starts. Just someone offers someone a chocolate bar, and he just turns around and stops.
I'm trying to think what films.
I got one.
Well, my first go-to is like The Sixth Sense, which my wife spoiled.
That's quite a famous one.
5 minutes before the reveal, she whispered to me in the cinema, "What?" And I was like, "You are kidding me."
There's two of this very similar time frames. I had a similar experience with Seven.
Right, Seven is a good one.
I had already seen the film and he whispered to me, so I was really engrossed in the film. And the other favourite one, which not everyone likes this, but it was mega at the time and quite well, Usual Suspect.
So I've never seen it.
Wicked twist. One of the best twists I've ever seen. But people watch it now and I go, "Did you get it?" I'm like, "Yeah, straight away."
Oh.
So it's like,
you're talking of twists as well. You're quite big fans of M. Night Shyamalan, because most of his films.
Yeah, I actually don't mind him at all. People, again, he's getting a lot of undue grief, and I quite like his twists. I liked Signs. That's probably one of my favourite ones he did. And I like the new ones with James McAvoy and Bruce Willis, and that Split.
Unbreakable.
Was it called Glass? The last one?
Yeah, Glass.
Yeah. And the cabin.
I love them ones.
They're really good. I mean, again, it's like, I think because you kept doing the same, you're waiting for the twist, that he...
that became his characteristics, the film with the big twist, yeah.
Obviously, he's very Hitchcockian, if that's a word, but then he's tried to be a bit like a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
And people got fed up with it. But I've not seen a film I've not enjoyed of it. So did you do The Happening?
Yeah, that's where I bailed.
That's rubbish. Yeah.
I didn't mind it, but it didn't seem like there was a twist.
Was there not?
I don't think. And I was also annoyed with The Happening because it just seemed like some random guy went, "Oh, by the way, I think it's the trees," and everyone's just like, "Oh, it must be the trees then." Just no.
The worst twist, the worst one for me is probably people like it. It's a really good twist, but it's horrific. Is The Mist.
I hate that. I hate the twist in The Mist because it's almost like Yeah, it's coming from here, look. It's there, look. Yeah, it just seemed like desperate to me. Like, yeah, it's like, let's make what would be the worst situation we could make in this end of this. You guys
Have you seen the
The Mist?
cabin? Yeah, I've seen the Mist. Yeah, have you seen the cabin?
Yeah.
The cabin. No.
It's the
And
newer
what's
one.
the Neil Marshall one, Descent, is it called? That's that's a horrible ending as well.
Yeah, but that's like, yeah, that's good though. That is.
Yeah,
it's like a frustrating one. It's
Yeah.
like, oh no.
What's the other one where I suppose the Joker's got a little bit of a twist in it.
Yeah. The best one recently for me is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I've still not seen that, so before.
'Cause-
Shutter Island.
Can't ruin it.
Did you get that?
I got that actually.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has got an incredible twist on it because it's based roughly on a true story. So all the way through the film, you're thinking, how's this going to end? It's all leading to one massive event.
Really?
So what's he going to do? And what he does with it is incredible.
Have you got your least
I'll watch
favorite?
that one next.
Have you got your least favorite
You've not
twist?
seen
Then?
it, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Oh, it's glorious.
I haven't.
Saw
Have you
is a
seen
good one.
Yes, I like all the sort of films. They're all quite
See-
well linked together.
So I watched at the cinema, and I made a joke to a friend next to me, going, "I bet it's that guy on the floor," and he gets up and walks off. And I literally had goosebumps, and I was like, "No fucking way!"
And she turns to you and
I
goes,
sounded so American as well when I did it. I was like, "No way!" And it was just. I've not watched another one since. I was
Was
just
that
like,
bad?
I am happy with that. I am so happy with that. And then, like,
That's what
if I
I'm
watch the others, does this mean I'm going to pick out the next thing and go, I bet this what happens? But
Is that your worst twist in the film?
no, but I enjoyed it, and I enjoy the ride as well. But yeah,
No,
but I enjoyed it.
all the short films kind of go well. I mean, people go and give them grief because there's that many of them. But the story arc is pretty impressive, I think.
I like the fact that they made a specific attempt to carry on each film.
Yeah.
It's like if Saw, I've not seen many of the films. I've seen 1 and 2, I think. But I think a lot of them are on if they come on telly, if Saw 5 or 6 is on the telly, it's like I'm not going to watch it because I know it's part of the story. So I need to
You can dip in and out.
Yeah.
It's not a crucial that you watch them all.
I quite like the Chris Rock one recently.
Yeah, there's a
Spiral.
Yeah, like that got grief as well.
Thought it was all right.
I guess it's all right.
I was going to say Ben and Holly's Adventures has put as well. Scream is one of his favourite plot twists.
Yeah, Scream's good.
That's quite
Scream
good.
is just a great whodunit.
Yeah, it is. It's
fantastic.
really clever.
I've not seen the recent one.
Not seen the recent one. Apparently, really quite gruesome.
I think they're all quite gruesome, aren't they?
I do like my gruesome, like gory stuff though, because I quite like
I always
Evil
say-
Dead.
If people like the Scream things, I always recommend the series Slasher, which is on Netflix, which is phenomenal. It's very much in the Scream vein.
What was that film you let me the other day? That's got a bit of a twist.
I lent Chris, I don't know if you've seen it, a film called Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Brilliant film.
That's massively underrated. That
Yeah.
is. I never heard of it.
And there's a twist in that one, actually.
Yeah.
A really good twist.
It's weird because I watched it and I went back to start watching it again. Thinking, no, sleep through the first 5 minutes. It proper plays with your head a bit, but then I think it's clever. I think it's a really good film. And
Are there
it
any-
didn't get the
You need to
traction
do
that
like
it-
a whole like session of like different twists and which one was the
Well,
best
he
twist
does a
and-
show called
Yeah,
Overpass at the Overpass, but Rob doesn't like those films.
Oh, your
What's
Overlooked series.
Oh yeah, I won't watch those. Yeah, I have to watch the rubbish ones. Rob refuses.
Are there
to watch
are there
bad
any
ones.
polarizing films that one of you absolutely hates and the other one loves? Have you got any of those?
Not yet, I don't
No,
think.
we're not disagreed on anything, have we really? Even sort of certain scenes. I suppose that one today with Planes Trains, we've
Yeah.
agreed on that, haven't we? And-
I think we like things at different levels, but I don't think we've
Yeah.
ever.
No, no. The little bit, Trading Places.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Trading Places. I didn't like it, but Chris loves it.
I love Trading Places. I reckon though, with certain films, any film really, it's what mood you're in sometimes, and what way when you're watching it and you're watching it with. You watch things. I watched Austin Powers Goldmember when I used to work at the cinema, to make sure that the film didn't skip and I hated it. I just because it was in a bad mood. So and I've not seen it since, to be honest. But then I saw Big Lebowski is another one. I saw that in a bad mood, and then watched it again doing at uni, and I was like, what the hell? This is amazing. I completely missed the whole. Do you know what Big Lebowski?
I've only ever seen it once.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a rewatchable, quotable film. What about yourself? Have you got a film that you secretly pretend to like? That's another good thing. Films
Not
you
pretend to like,
you don't
but one that comes up is when I first. Well, I'd seen it years and years before anyway. But when I first showed you The Breakfast Club, and about halfway through, you went, they just don't leave the school.
And I come from a background where it was like action movies and sci-fi and old school blood and gore type of thing. So to go from that to then just one room that you're filming.
Saw was in one room.
And I was just like, yeah, but it's more.
I agree with
I was
you.
like, nothing's happening. What's happening? There's nothing actually happening. And
it was about them growing as people on a Saturday morning.
Also, with that one, if you saw Ferris Bueller before it, you can't spoil, in my opinion.
Well, that's the trick. I only saw Trading Places all the way through recently because Chris kept banging on about it, and I just didn't like it. But that's because I saw Beverly Hills Cop, The Golden Child, coming to America in the 80s, and Trading Places was before all them. You watch it, and it's like it seemed like a collection of Saturday Night Live skits and.
Yeah, that's
not quite as good as it could be.
I did kind of like get into a phase with my eldest brother, the like Kevin Smith films a little bit as well, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of Clerks, where it was just in the shop, and it was like after a while I kind of like lost my attention with it because it was just like it's all in one area. There's nothing happening, and no diss in anyone in any way, but I was just like. Where's all this action going to be? And I'm just expecting the action to happen and everything to be really quick. So it's just like
we always speak about horror films. Like if you saw A Nightmare on Elm Street in the 80s before you saw Halloween, and saw Halloween later on, you'd be like, God, this is boring.
Yeah.
You spoil it with Freddy. He's got character. He's got personality. Then you go back to Michael Myers. And there's nothing to him other than the shape, which is what appeals to a lot of people. But you have to appreciate
I know it's based on William Shatner, but I always thought he looks like Mariah Carey, that mask.
Oh, yeah, there's some great photos.
Oh, yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah. Who likes Batteries Not Included?
Batteries Not Included, but I'm also thinking about Short Circuit as well. You fans of Short Circuit?
Oh, Short Circuit.
Yeah, we got Short Circuit as well.
Got Batteries Not Included.
Oh, you have to get yourselves down there, Joneses.
But yeah,
someone say Short Circuit, or you just say
Short Circuit, yeah.
Yeah, I like him, Johnny.
I always get the Goonies mixed up with I can't remember the name of it now. There's the other film where the kids have to save their dads.
Ooh,
I'm sure it's got the kid who plays Data in that as well. I'll have to think about it. Get back to you about that. There's another film that I thought was the Goonies for all these years, and then I watched the Goonies. I was like, oh, the film I thought was the Goonies was not the Goonies.
Oh.
There's another film that's very similar to the Goonies, and it's about them saving their dads from some Japanese or Chinese people or something, and it takes place in caves, and it's got the kid. I'm sure it's the kid who plays Data's there as well. It's very similar.
Oh, Data
not
from
Go
Star
Kid,
Trek.
is it?
No, Data from Goonies.
Oh,
Isn't it called
from
Data, the
Goonies.
Chinese?
I've never watched it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Star Trek here.
Is there anything else you wanted to promote before we wrap it up here?
No, just want to thank you guys for coming to the shop and inviting us and buying all the cool merch. I can see the Lunch Meat VHS is Happiness t-shirt behind you.
Oh, well, I was going to say, it's probably not going to mean anything to you two, but the people that watch, we have a show on Mondays where at the moment we have a panel on, and each week it's like a bracket, and we decide which is the most of this series, the most missed ride. I've got the bracket here actually.
Yeah, so you get 2 rides. You get to choose
each episode. We have a vote at the end with the panel we've got, and next Monday is Pirates Adventure versus Slammer. But what we've got a competition going, so if anyone wants to enter it, just get to Instagram and message us. Although I'll probably put a post and comment on, and if you guess which ride you think is going to win the whole bracket, and we get to the end of the series, everyone who's guessed the right ride will be put into a draw, and they're going to be winning a straight to video Facebook, and
we'll send you some other stuff as well.
Yeah.
we've got a mug. We're going to give away that mug as well.
Oh, the
Well, not
mug.
that one. This one's
Not
mine.
this one, because
This one's mine,
it?
but we've got one in a box. The straight to video mug as
fantastic.
well. But
Awesome.
Wendy, you've just got a
Remind us,
message.
we'll send you some other stuff as well.
Yeah.
We'll send you some other cool stuff.
Well, we're going to come down to sometime and bring that phone.
Bring that phone,
Yeah.
yeah, the chameleon.
Well, can we do an evening? What do you do when we do one of the evenings so you can like? Spend
When's
the
your
evening?
next event? Because you do events, don't you?
Really.
We'll take some requests as to
yeah.
what
Drop
night
us a
we should
message
do.
what film you want us to do, and we'll give a twist on that. As long as it's something like art we like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody check out 80svideoshop.co.uk.
Cool.
Come listen to my
I've got all
podcast at tvpod.com.
The links are in the description, and also I don't know if you want to say who's coming on next week because you're big fans of them.
I am big fans. We've got the wonderful guys from Scare Seekers.
Scare Seekers, yeah.
So that is going to be absolutely cool as well.
Oh, nice.
So can't wait as well.
And I think we've plugged
So
everything we need to
you're
plug.
quite welcome to join us as well.
Oh,
guys,
so
as well.
as soon as this is gone
Our
off air,
guests, current guests.
as soon as this is going off air, go in the description and I've linked the latest episode of What's in the Egg Rob, and it's really good. And also I've linked underneath that in this description the scene with all the swearing in that's so funny, but I
There
can't
we
put it
go.
on here.
Go follow them. Go follow them. It's down there.
I'm going to ask this, but I think I already know the answer.
Do you know the way?
Do you know our catchphrase?
Yeah, I know catchphrase.
No, it is.
What? So?
It's something like, I'll see you in the rear view because for now we're gone.
Yeah!